Luke and Silas McKinley. Those names still give me chills. Now, I'll be the first to say, Yosemite Park has no shortage of people who have either died or gone missing. But the McKinley boys? That's a whole different ball of wax. I've been a park ranger for 15 years, and I've never seen anything like it, before or since. But looking back, it's explained a lot. Missing person cases turned cold, like they vanished out of thin air. Children, adults, pets, it's all the same out there. Luke McKinley was the older brother. They were about a year apart, he and Silas, 28 and 27. Daredevils, the both of them. Base jumpers, cave divers, that kind of thing. You could tell Luke really knew his stuff. Silas did too, but he was a squirrely, shoot first, ask questions never kind of guy, but a good kid. They came into the ranger station at 8:14 a.m. on August 16th, 2023, asking about places to do some base jumping, wingsuit flying. I handed them a map, pointed it out to them, and said good luck. That was the end of it. About 10 hours later, Silas McKinley comes into the station crying his eyes out. He was crushed, exhausted, on his knees, begging us for help. When he finally got a hold of himself, he said his brother clipped a tree going down the mountain and crash-landed about a quarter-mile down. That's a rough injury no matter how you land. Wouldn't be the first time it's happened either. But I look him in the eyes and I tell him, it's okay, son. We're going to find your brother. Now at this point, it's about 6 o'clock. If you know anything about wingsuit flying, you know you can't go backwards. So, when Silas saw Luke clip that tree and crash, there was no going back for him until he landed at the base of the mountain and got to the ranger station to tell us what happened. So Luke's already been up there a few hours. We have no idea what kind of shape he's in, and it's getting dark. Nevertheless, I was in no position to argue with Silas. I took 2 other rangers, Ray and Miles, and we packed the truck. It's us 4, 3 12-gauge shotguns, and some flashlights. Silas was able to keep his awareness as he went down the mountain, and said that he saw Luke crash next to a cave on the northwest face. I never knew of any such cave, neither did Ray or Miles, but at least we had some idea where to look. I also let any rangers around there know to keep their eyes and ears open for the poor kid. We search, and search, and search. By the time it gets to be about 9:30, it's pitch black. No sign of Luke McKinley. I tried to tell Silas that it would be better to continue in the morning, but when it comes to brothers, it's not that easy to call it quits, especially when you don't know if he's dead or alive. In our arguing, Ranger Miles shut us up and had us listen, and we heard it, bouncing off the rocks around us. Luke McKinley was calling out for us, screaming. Silas took off up the mountain, me and the others went after him. When we got to Luke, he was still lying in the indentation he made when he crashed, so his situation couldn't have been good. The cave was there too, just as Silas said. Our only priority was getting him medical attention as soon as possible. As we got closer, that's when we saw it. I'm not a religious man, but if you told me that night we came in contact with something satanic, I'd be inclined to agree with you. It was standing over Luke McKinley like a giant, still as the stone around it, just looking at us. Tall as a pine tree, 13 feet at least, black as night. Its feathers shimmered in our flashlight. Eyes bright like an owl, but no, that wasn't it at all. You'd think we were face to face with Medusa. We were stone paralyzed in its gaze. When it spread its wings, my heart nearly stopped. Before we could make sense of what we were looking at, Silas ran like mad at the thing. No weapon, just thrashing and screaming. Guess that was the daredevil spirit in him, and just wanting to get it away from Luke. They were gone by the time we opened fire. You could hear them scream for minutes after as they were carried off into the night. No clue where. Nothing we could do but listen until it stopped. We never found their bodies. All that was left was the impact crater Luke McKinley made on the ground when he crashed. Not even the footprints of whatever took him. Yosemite kept on moving, just like it always does, no matter how many people disappeared. But the park did change in my eyes. The first time I came to Yosemite, I was 9 years old. I was a Boy Scout, a hunter, a fisherman. It was my heaven. It was the most beautiful place I'd ever seen. But ever since that night, I haven't been able to unsee the horror that lives in that beauty. And I don't know if I ever will. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe.